Okay, let's talk about the worst way to approach an equation like this. Now, this is just one basic example that I'm going to use to kind of show you what a lot of students do. And I think they inadvertently think it's okay for them to do this or it's acceptable. And they think that maybe they're saving themselves some work. But in fact, they approach an equation, certain type of equations or equations that have certain elements going on in them, and they end up doing things that you really shouldn't be doing. But I'm going to get into making this point here in a second. I'm going to show you what a lot of students do so you don't do that, and then we'll, of course, show you how to properly kind of solve an equation like this. But first, let me go ahead and quickly introduce myself. My name is John. I'm the founder of TabletClass Math. I'm also a middle and high school math teacher, and over many years, I've constructed what I like to believe is one of the best online video-based math help programs there is out there. Now, whether you need to take a full math course or need help with the course you're currently in, my program can help you. Okay, so I have full comprehensive lessons and I show you exactly how to solve thousands of math problems. And that's one of the probably biggest benefit is that there's nothing more frustrating than you given a problem to do and just the answer and not knowing how that answer was derived. But in my program, I show you all that. But I'll let you be the judge of my program if you're interested. I'll leave a link to it in the description of this video. But as a math teacher, I always feel compelled to really stress the importance of note taking. Okay. So if your notes are anything less than impeccable, excellent, outstanding, then you need to work on your note taking, right? It's just basically a rule after decades of teaching math that I've seen. So students with the best math notes pretty much have the best math grades, and the reverse is true. Okay. So if you need to improve with your note taking, absolutely make that a priority. But in the meantime, you probably need something to study from. Okay. So I'm going to leave a link to my math notes in the description of this video. Very comprehensive and detailed, excellent reference for you to study from. And those would include pre-algebra, algebra 1, geometry, algebra 2, and trigonometry. Okay, so let's get into this situation. Now, when I make a video like this, like the worst way this is going on. This is all from experience. Okay, these are things that I've seen over years of teaching math. So when I see major trends that come up, I'm just I'm out there making videos to saying what, likely you watching this video could heck, I probably made this mistake way back years and years ago, but it's a common misunderstanding. So let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about here. So let's talk about the worst way that a lot of students approach this problem. Okay, so we have 81 over 102 x, right? So we got some fraction here, and it's like, oh boy, it's a fraction. Like, oh, I don't want to deal with a fraction. Plus 3 over 51 equals 17. So many students have fraction phobia. I think I'm going to go ahead and make a video on that fraction phobia, and they're like, oh no, fractions. They get uh, sad about it, fearful of it, and they just don't want to deal with fractions. And I get it. I probably was the same way. And you're like, oh, I have to figure out what the LCD is. I gotta like do something here, or subtract, whatever the case might be. So what a lot of students will do is they'll get their calculator out and they'll be like, I'm not even gonna mess with these fractions. I'm just gonna kind of like, I'm gonna mess these fractions up, and let's just switch these fractions into decimals. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's just mess these fractions and get rid of them. And we'll say 81 over 102. And you go on my calculator, go 81 divided by 102, and you'll get this on your calculator. 0.7941177647, and then 3 over 51, you'll get this nice, lovely decimal. Now, I'm being kind of generous here because a lot of students will be like, all right, these are long decimals, and at this point, you're looking at these decimals. A lot of students will be like, well, I don't want to deal with all these decimals either. Okay, so you don't know which one's worse, all these decimals or the fraction. So many students will say, okay, this fraction is basically this, and this fraction is basically this. Now, of course, this is all the digits that you can see in your calculator. You don't know what's going on behind this, okay? So a lot of students will just say, well, I'll just take 0.7941. I'll take the first four digits. Okay, I'm not going to deal with the rest of this. And then I'll take the first four digits of this decimal over here, 0.0588, and then I'll just use my calculator to work this problem out. Okay, so what you do, the basic algebra solving steps. So here you have to subtract 0.0588 from both sides of the equation. So that's going to be 17 minus 0.0588, and then you get this decimal, and you have this decimal over here in front of your x, and so x is going to be equal to 16.9412, and you divide it by 0.7941, and you get this decimal here in your calculator. So you might be like, okay, I'll just, maybe you'll give me 21.3, or maybe you'll write out this entire answer. But I'm being kind of generous here because a lot of students won't even use four decimals. They'll just kind of round up. They'll be like 0.7941. Maybe they'll just use 0.79. And here, maybe they'll use 0.05 or maybe 0.058. Okay. And, again, everything that I share with you is because I've seen it 10,000 times over the years, right? So, if you're making this mistake, I'm sure I made this mistake way back in the good old days, but this is not the correct way to handle this problem. Okay, so here you have x is equal to this value, right? So the thing I want to emphasize to you is that when you change a fraction to a decimal, depending on the situation, and you round, your answers are now going to be estimates. They're not going to be exact. Okay, so when you do this, do not change your fractions into decimals. Okay, you can do that if you just want a feel for the solution, but the proper way, the correct way to approach this problem would be this. Okay, is to go ahead and deal with fractions. So we have 81 over 102, okay, and then we have 3 over 51. So let's just get rid of the fractions. And the best way to do that is to multiply the entire equation by the lowest common denominator. Okay, this is what you should be doing here. So you got 102, 51, and then here we have the denominator of 1. Okay, so the LCD here is 102. So maybe you just picked up that 51 times 2 will be 102. Then we have this 1. So if we multiply this entire equation by the lowest common denominator, the lovely thing about that is that it will clear the fraction. So this is the technique you want to use. So let's go ahead and see how that's done. So 102 times each term in the equation. So 102 times 81 over 102x, because the 102's cross cancel, and I'm left with 81x. And then 102 times 3 over 51. 51 goes into 102 two times. So 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, just follow my work here. So we did that. And then 102 times 17 is 1734. And now this is just a basic equation here to solve. I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides of the equation, leaving you with 81x equals 1728. So to solve for x, I need to take that 1728 and divide by 81, and I would get this decimal. Okay, so 21.333 repeating. Okay, this is this answer in decimal form. But if you even gave me this, as long as it was fully reduced, I would probably be fully satisfied and give you a thumbs up. Good work. Okay, now let's just compare these decimals. That's 21.33333. Okay, versus, now you're saying, well, this is pretty close, 21.333, but this changes over here, all right? This is not what the actual answer was, okay? Again, I probably tried to come up, I was looking to do or try to find an example problem that would show this more clearly, but I think this one, does the job to show you, to illustrate that when you change fractions into decimals, you're introducing, rounding errors, okay? So you're not going to have oftentimes the exact answer, all right? You don't want to do that. And it's something that kind of comes from this fraction phobia, right? So when you see equations with fractions, right? Deal with the fractions. There are times where you're going to have to work with decimals for sure because you have equations in algebra like 0.791x minus 1.325 equals zero point 0.9. That's fine. Okay, you're already working with decimals. But when you have an equation that is in fractions, work with the fractions unless you're told otherwise. Okay. All right. So again, all this comes from experience. And if you're like, okay, maybe you never made that error, but at least now not to approach that. Okay. Again, if you want to get a feel for what the answer is and you don't want to deal with LCD, just kind of play around and just turn these into quick decimals to get a rough estimation. That's different, okay? But if you're really looking to solve this properly, work with the fractions, get to know your fractions. Okay, so hopefully, this video was interesting and you kind of made a point. And maybe you made this error, right, before, but don't feel bad about it. A lot of students think it's acceptable to do this. Just the main idea here is to learn from, what I'm telling you and take my advice as a math teacher. All right, so if this video helped you in some way and if you liked it in some way, please consider smashing that like button. Also, if you're new to my YouTube channel and you think you like my teaching style, I already have hundreds and hundreds of math videos on my channel organized in various playlists that are there for you. And this is over 10 plus years being on YouTube, and I'm posting new stuff all the time. Okay, so I want you to take advantage of this. And again, leave me feedback on what you would like to see. I like to teach all math, basic math, geometry, algebra, and I'm going to get into more advanced mathematics in the future, like calculus and stuff. So, but there's a lot of math topics out there. But the bottom line is this: do what you have to do to improve in math. You got to find good resources. So if you like my teaching style, my best resources will be the links. Just follow the links in the description of this video, and you can get my best stuff there. Okay, so with that being said, I definitely wish you all the best in your mathematics adventures. Thank you for your time, and have a great day.